The first thing I noticed wasn't her voice, it was his laugh. That deep, familiar sound that used to echo across late-night poker games and weekend barbecues. It was the kind of laugh that could fill a room and, in that moment, empty me completely. I froze at the foot of our bedroom door, my hand gripping the knob so hard I could feel the cold brass cutting into my palm. The door wasn't closed all the way. Through the narrow slit, I saw my wife's bare shoulder illuminated by the amber glow of our bedside lamp. And beside her, half covered, moving closer, was him. Michael. My best friend since college. The man who'd stood beside me at my wedding, who'd toasted to our unbreakable bond. For a second, I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. The air felt thick, like it had weight, pressing down on my chest until I could barely hold it in. My mind refused to believe what my eyes were screaming. Then I heard her whisper, soft and trembling, "You shouldn't have come tonight." But he laughed again, that same easy charm he always had. "You said you missed me." The sound of those words fractured something inside me. It wasn't rage, not yet. It was disbelief mixed with the kind of pain that makes you want to tear your own heart out just to stop feeling it. I pushed the door open. It slammed against the wall. They both jerked up, her eyes wide, his face draining of color. "Daniel," she gasped, clutching the sheet to her chest. Michael scrambled, mumbling something about how he could explain, but his voice was just static in my head. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. "You." I could barely get the words out. "You both lied to me." He stood up, still half naked, holding up his hands like I was a threat. "Man, listen, it's not what it looks like." "Don't you dare," I said, my voice breaking. "Don't you dare say that to me." For a long moment, no one moved. The silence was thick with the smell of perfume and betrayal. I could hear the soft hum of the ceiling fan, the faint rhythm of my own breathing struggling to stay steady. Then I turned and walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't scream. I just left. Because if I'd stayed, I might have done something I couldn't take back. The night air hit me like ice. I drove without direction, the city lights blurring into streaks of color. Every red light felt like a chance to turn back, but I couldn't. My mind replayed every moment of the last few months, the way she'd been working late, how Michael had needed to talk about his breakup, how she'd started locking her phone, how I'd ignored every red flag because I trusted them both. I laughed bitterly. I had defended her when my own gut screamed otherwise. She wouldn't cheat, I'd told myself. Not her. Not with him. How wrong I was. When I finally stopped the car, I found myself parked in front of Michael's old apartment. The irony was cruel. I used to crash here after nights out, back when we were just two broke idiots with too much loyalty and not enough sense. I sat there in the dark, gripping the steering wheel, trying to understand why. Was it me? Had I stopped listening? Stopped being the man she needed? Or was love just something that slowly decays, quietly replaced by temptation and lies? Every memory turned into a weapon. Her laugh at his jokes, their inside references, the way she'd insisted I invite him for Christmas. It had all been there, right in front of me, but I hadn't wanted to see it. The human mind is cruel like that. It protects you until it doesn't. 2 days later, she came home. I was sitting in the living room, suitcase beside me, my wedding ring placed neatly on the table. Her eyes were swollen, her voice raw. "Daniel," she whispered. "Please, I made a mistake. It just happened once." I stared at her. "Once?" I asked quietly. "You mean the one time I caught you?" Tears welled up. "He was there for me when you weren't. You've been distant, distracted. I didn't mean to fall for him, it just happened." Her words were knives, each one carving deeper into the version of my life I thought was real. "You fell for him," I said, my voice shaking. "You mean my best friend? The one I trusted with everything?" She sobbed, covering her face. "I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you." For a moment, I almost believed her. That's the worst part of betrayal. You still want to believe the liar. You still want to think there's some part of the person you loved that's untouched by the lie. But the truth was written all over her. I stood up. "You already did," I said quietly. "And you didn't just hurt me. You killed the person I was with you. Michael never called. He didn't have to. His silence said everything. I left the house that day and never went back. Moved into a small apartment downtown, where the nights were long and the silence unforgiving. People say time heals, but they never tell you it doesn't heal evenly. Some wounds scar deeper, refusing to close no matter how long you wait. I started therapy. I started writing again. Somewhere in those empty nights, I realized something important. Betrayal doesn't define you. It destroys the illusions you lived under. But what's left is real. Raw. You. Sometimes I still see them in my dreams, laughing like before. But then I remember what I saw, what I felt, and how I survived it. And that's my victory. Not revenge. Not anger. Just survival. Because forgiveness isn't for them. It's for me. And maybe one day, that'll be enough.